Hi, I'm Bob Gruen, rock and roll photographer from New York. And I first met the Allman Brothers when I was assigned, actually Rolling Stone assigned me to take pictures when they played at the Fillmore Theater here in New York, I think 1971. But 1972 in the summer, I was assigned by Cream magazine to go to Macon, Georgia, and actually do a story on Macon and the Allman Brothers. And the Allman Brothers were on tour, so first we went to Macon, we took some pictures there, and I toured around the town. The publicist showed me quite a bit. And then we flew to Florida, and we got in there, actually, we got to the show just as the Allman Brothers were going on stage, so I didn't really get to see them the first night. And the show was amazing. It was full of kids in Florida. They were going crazy. Everybody's on alcohol and Quaaludes, and those days were really nuts. And then we went to the motel afterwards, and the scene in the hotel with all these girls running around the motel, it was really, you know, later they said that the Almost Famous movie was based on the Allman Brothers, and I think I saw that scene actually acted out live in real life with real people, with naked girls jumping in the pool and people taking drugs. It was quite a wild rock and roll scene. And the next morning, I got on the bus. The road manager knew I was coming along for the day. The band, I hadn't met them yet, and the bus pulled away. It was just the band, and I was on the bus. And I think after a couple of minutes, they kind of said, "Who's that fuzzy-haired guy over there?" And they came over to talk to me. And I opened my camera bag, and right on top of my camera bag and my equipment in those days was a bottle of Remy Martin and a bottle of Cuervo tequila. I think we started with the tequila, and I'd open the bag because I always have a box of my pictures that I would carry around with me. And I took the box out and I started showing them my pictures and who I was and telling stories. And you know, the Allman Brothers were notoriously hard to photograph because they hated to pose. They were very arrogant in that sense that they didn't pose. They were real and they wanted natural things, but they never really got together as a group to pose very often. But we drank the whole bottle of tequila and then and a couple of beers to go along with that. So after an hour or two telling stories, they wanted to stop the bus. Everybody had to get off and take a piss. So we went down this little hillside next to the bus and then came back up the hillside. And at that point I said, "Hey guys, can I get a group shot of you all together?" Because they were all together coming up this little hill. And we'd all been so friendly on the bus telling stories that they said, "Oh sure, okay." And they stood by the back of the bus and I got this great shot of them. They were a fun band to photograph. I was friends with them for a few years after that. And I used to hang out a lot with Johnny. He was a very cool guy to hang out with. And, I don't know, it's different days today, but back then, boy, it was quite different and quite a lot of fun. I don't think I could do that again today, though, but glad I did it then. Enjoy.